Hi there. My name is John Stevens. I'm pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we are part of the ELCA. And welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text and tie him to an item from the Dollar Tree, or the junk drawer, or the kids' room, or the garage, or maybe the basement room in your church that you haven't explored for decades. There's a lot of good stuff in there, maybe even flannel board. Yeah. Anyway, this is for the Revised Common Lectionary, but if you're looking for the narrative lectionary on the website, dskidssermons.com, I'll put a link in the notes. But if you're just seeing this on YouTube, go to the blog, the website, DS for Dollar Store, DS Kids. I'll put the show. It's dskidssermons.com. Anyway, there's a link for the narrative lectionary 2020 and 2016. The week got away from me, as it does sometimes, but they hold water, which is no pun, but it's the story of Jonah. So anyway, take a look at that. I think you'll find it useful. This is for the Revised Common Lectionary, the 25th Sunday after Pentecost. I had to double check that because we had Reformation and All Saints. And anyway, it's one of those millionth Sundays after Pentecost. And we're looking at a little bit of all the texts, but we got Mark with the widow who gave everything she had. We have the widow in that feeds Elijah, uses the last of what she has, and the abundance that comes from that. So a lot of different things. So a lot of different springboards. And a lot of this is springboards in the making. You know, I'm still working on the direction I'm going, but there's two directions I want to go, and it's playing with the widow. It's playing with the age of the widow. It's playing with the societal concept, or the fact that viewing that the widow is the weak one, the outcast. We are called to take care of the orphan and the widow and the immigrant and the stranger and all of that. So looking at what that means when here's a widow that gives everything she has, and then there's those who are overflowing with I was going to say abundance, but overflowing with physical, with the stuff that, overflowing with the cash, overflowing with the cash. That's what, I don't know what that's all about. But anyway, but you get it, and it says it right in the text. So I am looking at the two springboards I'm looking at one is inviting one of the oldest members of the congregation to come up and talk with them about the gifts God has given them and ways that they've helped serve the church. Maybe you have one of your oldest members who is still quilts, or you have one of your oldest members that started the quilt group or started a Bible study that is still going on, that gave out of their abundance. And it's not even just the financial. I mean, you got the pennies and all that, but of how they give and how important they are in the midst, and to hear their voice in this place. So there's that, which I really like. I like that direction. I like the intergenerational. I like the kids hearing from an elder, from one that is, and I mean, we're coming from All Saints Sunday and the cloud of witnesses, and how we are called to be witnesses by how we live our lives. And here is a person that in our midst that has been a faithful witness for 18 years, so many years. So that's one. I'm saying so a lot. That is a direction that I am leaning towards. Now, the other side, and it's not really making it like a pendulum, but it's not the two sides of the coin. The other direction, and it's still kind of following the sense of role reversal, because here, I mean, when all of the isms that we play into, one of the isms we play into is ageism, whether it be we discount the voice of the oldest member, or we discount the voice of the youngest member, and like a lot of isms, we don't do it on purpose, but we find ourselves pushing them to the edge. So that's all right. Thank you for playing. So to hear that voice. So there's that so again. On the other side, or the second springboard, is the role reversal about hearing the voice of the kids that they're in there. And so having the kids tell you what they think is important about church. What is, if they had to, and I'm still working on how to ask the question. And maybe you want to preload the question for one of the older kids, maybe you have a second grader or a third grader, but to ask, hey, I'm going to ask a question at the children's sermon, or are you going to be there? And maybe call them up in the middle of the week and have them, and so they can think about it. But the question about what do you think is incredibly or what's the utmost importance thing for you in church, or about church, about Jesus, and that. And so the reason preloading, because it's a heavy question, but to hear the congregation, to hear from a kid, and it's that role reversal of, for a moment, they are playing the part of pastor, and they don't have long robes, they don't have, and that's powerful stuff. So to hear the voice of maybe both, and maybe having one of the having the oldest member of the congregation, and not the youngest, but a young member of the congregation, and having them, they have a conversation with each other. That might move into the larger sermon. But there's something here. I feel it in the gut that there's good direction either way or together. So that is the Dollar Store Children's Sermon for this week. Thank you so much for the love that you're sharing with your kids and your congregation and your families. You, my friend, are rocking it. Thank you. And thank you for your partnership in this ministry and your generosity. I've received a few donations last week, which just warms my heart, for lack of a better word, but thank you so very much. I appreciate it all, and it helps tremendously. All right, thank you, and we will see you next week. Peace.